Alright, so if you've got a Nintendo Switch 2, you know that sometimes those little glitches can really get in the way of a good time. Well, you'll be happy to hear Nintendo's been hard at work. We're going to break down all the latest system updates, from the really important bug fixes to some brand new features. Let's dive in.
So, let's kick things off with a problem that I'm guessing has driven a lot of you crazy. You wake your Switch 2 from sleep mode, you're all set to jump back into your game, and nothing. Your controller just refuses to connect. It's a huge pain, but thankfully, it's one of the main things Nintendo's newest patches are here to fix.
Over the last few weeks, Nintendo's actually pushed out 2 new updates. Now, these aren't about adding flashy new stuff. Nope. These are laser-focused on system stability and just squashing some of those frustrating bugs to make everything feel a whole lot smoother.
The latest one, version 21.1.0, literally just dropped today, and that came right on the heels of another super important patch, 21.0.1, from the end of last month. It really shows Nintendo is moving fast to get these things ironed out.
You know, it's funny, the official notes for 21.1.0 just say general system stability improvements, which sounds kind of boring, right? But what that's often code for is tackling those tricky compatibility issues, especially with third-party docks and controllers, to make sure all your gear, official or not, just works the way it's supposed to.
Okay, so let's rewind just a little bit to that update from last month. Version 21.0.1 was way more specific about what it was fixing, and it targeted some of the most common problems people were complaining about.
And here it is, the big one. We've all been there. That moment you wake the console up and your Joy-Cons, your Pro Controller, maybe even your Bluetooth headphones, they just sit there, blinking, refusing to pair. It totally kills the momentum.
Well, the good news is Nintendo definitely heard everyone. This update specifically goes in and crushes that connectivity bug, whether you're waking up from sleep mode or just turning off airplane mode. This is a huge quality of life improvement.
And for anyone upgrading from the original Switch, oh man, this was another major headache. You'd be so excited, you start the whole system transfer process, and then boom, a weird error code pops up and you have to start all over again. So frustrating.
This patch makes that whole upgrade experience way more reliable. It actually targets those specific, repeating error codes to make sure your transfer from the old console to the new one just works. No more holding your breath.
Now, before all these bug fixes, we got a really major update, version 21.0.0. This one wasn't about stability, this was a big feature drop. It added a whole bunch of new, useful stuff to the console.
This update brought some really nice little touches to the user interface. Like, you can now see at a glance if a game is a physical cartridge or a download, and that cancel all button for downloads, an absolute lifesaver. Plus, the new icon for bundle games makes getting them a piece of cake. The whole social side of things got a massive boost too. Game chat is just way, way better now. Your console won't fall asleep in the middle of a conversation anymore. Your chat won't get cut off when you go from dock to handheld, and it's much easier to find new people to play with. But version 21.0.0 went even deeper. It actually added some fantastic little tweaks in the system settings that give you more control, especially for those of us who like to tinker with our setup.
This is such a great addition, especially for competitive players. You can now choose what you want for your Pro Controller's audio. Do you want stable mode for a rock-solid connection that won't cut out? Or do you want low latency to shave off every possible millisecond of audio delay? The choice is yours.
And they didn't forget about accessibility, which is awesome to see. The text-to-speech feature can now read much faster, and for Japanese users, it's even smarter, reading out predictive text as you type.
And finally, we've got a few small but really helpful changes. That battery-saving charging option is a bit more flexible now. They've added more languages, and the HDR setting is just named a little more clearly. See, it's all in the details.
So let's step back for a second. What does all this actually mean for you day to day? Well, think about it. In just about a month, we've gotten crucial bug fixes, major stability improvements, and a whole bunch of new features.
The bottom line is this: your Switch 2 is just better now. It's more stable, it's less buggy, and it's easier to use. Honestly, fixing that controller connection issue alone is a massive win for every single Switch 2 owner out there.
Now, your console should automatically download these updates when you're connected to the internet. But if you want to make absolutely sure you're running the latest version, it's super easy to check. Just pop into System Settings, scroll down to System, and hit System Update.
And really, this quote from Nintendo kind of sums it all up, doesn't it? They are always working to make the Switch 2 experience better, even long after you brought it home. This whole burst of updates is the perfect example of that.
So that's the rundown on everything new, from the big features to those small but oh so important stability fixes. Nintendo is clearly listening and working to make things better. And that always gets you thinking, right? What's next on your wish list? What's the one feature you're still dying to see on the Switch 2? Thanks for joining us for this explainer.